Buenas noches, damas y caballeros. Bienvenidos al Campo Lealtad del Parque La Loma en Tepic, Nayarit, México. Para el partido número 46 de la segunda edición de la Copa Mundial Juvenil de Béisbol 5 de la Confederación Mundial de Béisbol y Softball. El partido a disputar es entre Cuba y México. Representando al equipo visitante de Cuba, los jugadores titulares son, con el número 24, Kevin Hidalgo Gato Ramas. Con el número 42, Yandro Mozarén Bisset. Al equipo local de México. Los jugadores titulares son, con el número 13, Axel Adrián González Lugo. Nos complace presentar a los oficiales de este partido. Oficial de home plate, Tony Jones de Estados Unidos de América. El oficial de primera base, Francisco López de Venezuela. Oficial de segunda base, Orlando Valle Álvarez de México. Oficial de tercera base, Héctor Jesús Martínez Pico de México. Y el oficial de mesa, Ludovic Melier de Francia. Damas y caballeros, por favor, pongámonos de pie los que podamos. Quítense el sombrero y guardemos silencio para escuchar las notas del himno nacional de Cuba. Agradecemos su atención y de igual manera les pedimos respeto y silencio para escuchar el himno nacional de México.
Bienvenidos, welcome back to Parque La Loma as we get set to play the second semifinal matchup. This is for the right to play Chinese Taipei in the World Championship final tomorrow night, and it is in front of the home crowd for Mexico, trying to take down world number 1 Cuba, a Cuban nation that has won every edition of every Baseball 5 World Cup played to date. It's not going to be easy for Mexico. You take a look at Cuba's lineup there, and this team is unbeaten at this tournament. That's no surprise. Cuba has never lost a Baseball 5 World Cup game. That's right. Not only have they won every World Championship, they've never lost a game. Mexico, meanwhile, well, they're perfect too at this 2025 Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. They have not lost a game, though they had to fight very hard this afternoon to defeat Kenya in a 3-set thriller. We'll see how much they have left in the tank. Obviously, the home crowd is going to provide some support. We'll see if that translates into enough to get on top of Cuba. The home team in this one is Mexico in every sense of the word, so Cuba will bat first. I'm expecting to see Cuba get off to a fast start. The question will be, after they get off to that fast start, will Mexico have enough to come back? As we see a leadoff hit by Kevin Hidalgo. He has been atop the Cuban batting order throughout this tournament, and he has been one of the best players throughout this tournament. A line drive goes off the hands at third base. And a tough start as Oliva Frias had a chance to make a play there. I mean, that was a really hard hit ball. It was not going to be an easy play. But against Cuba, to beat Cuba, those are exactly the types of play you have to make as a team. As we had a ball on the right side here that will set up Cuba with a bases loaded, none out situation. Getting into the 4 slot in the batting order after that base hit. A look at the field. Isaac hits it hard, and that's going to get through the right side. Throw home, nothing doing. 2-run score, 2-0 Cuba before an out is recorded here in the first inning. This is exactly what I was expecting. The very fast start for Cuba. Now that Mexico's given up the 2 runs, are they going to find some outs? A chance there. Nice play, cross the diamond. There it is, the first out. Another run scores. 3-0 Cuba. And I think now everybody in the pink, white, and blue, the Mexican uniforms, can maybe exhale a little bit. Hidalgo Smashes it up the middle. He caught Ochoa moving towards the third base side. And it's 4-0. Cuba's put up some massive innings in this tournament. Really, anytime you're talking about 5 runs in an inning, it's a big one. They're almost there. That's 4 with still just the 1 out. And Carlos Rivera coming up. You can already tell some of the energy coming out of the crowd. They know what this Cuba team is made of. They've been here throughout the week watching what this Cuba team can do. Another smash, well placed up the middle. Runner coming home. Out at home plate. Great play, Ochoa, right there. And that is an A-plus defensive effort from Mexico. Pretty heavy collision. Cuba wants to make sure that the runner's path to the plate wasn't obstructed. It didn't look like it was. 2 outs. Second and third, the setup. Take a look at this throw home from Axel Gonzalez. There's the out. Now a throw to first. What a play. And that is exactly what Mexico had to do. They weathered the storm. The 4 runs scored before an out had been recorded, but then they get out of the inning. And so we'll go to the bottom of the first and see Mexico's offense. You want to get 1 or 2 back here in the first inning. Don't let Cuba get that feeling of invincibility. Good ball, a bobble, and safe at first. Time called by Amanda Diaz. It's Ochoa batting now. Mexico electing to go with 2 boys, 3 girls in the lineup tonight. That's part of the mixed gender nature of Baseball 5. You have to have at least 2 players of each gender in the lineup. So you can go whichever way you want with it. 3 and 2, boys, girls, 3 and 2, girls, boys, as Mexico has chosen to do here. It's Martinez reaching as the throw goes by first and third with 1 out. Mexico already showing that they belong on this stage with the world #1 Cuba team. Chinese Taipei beat Venezuela in straight sets just a couple of hours ago. Here's an underhand play to second, relay to first. It's a double play. And that keeps the run off the board. It keeps the shutout intact. 4-0 the score. Sorry, 4-1. Kept that second run from scoring, the double play did. And now Diaz going to lead off for Cuba. She made an out in her first trip. Okay. I was right the first time. It is 4-0. I thought so. But that scoreboard had it at 4-1, and that's what this conversation is about at the table. You know, sometimes you just got to trust yourself, right? I knew that run didn't score. And so they'll sort it out on the software. The force out at second, the force out at first, the double play. And now we're back underway. There's another game going on simultaneously over on field 2. It is Lithuania and Kenya. It's the second set of Lithuania and Kenya. Lithuania won the first one, but Kenya leads the second 2-1. We'll keep our attention primarily here on field 1 as Diaz lines out. Kevin Hidalgo on the left side. Gonzalez came up ready to throw. Left the ball behind. First and third again for Cuba. No, it's going to be second and another run on the board. They take advantage of a Mexico team waiting for time to get called. Oh, wait. Time had been called. So again, we'll go back to the original call. It's going to be first and third. And Cuba wants to know why. Cuba's manager, Sergio Perez, got the explanation he needed. And again, we're going to have to adjust the score. For nothing. Runners on first and third. There we go. Rivera, right side. Good job to avoid the ball by the base runner Morrison. And now you can put that fifth run in your scorebook for Cuba. Morrison did well to avoid more direct collision with Mia Franco, the fielder. And a nice catch by Ochoa, who turns around and goes to second for the double play. Each team with an impressive double play to end these half innings. Cuba in the bottom of the first, Mexico in the top of the second. And it's going to be Franco leading off for Mexico. Fifth in the order. She takes a look around, one bounce, and in play. She's got good speed. Safe. Diaz had her foot come off the base. So a leadoff single, a leadoff hit for Franco. That bobble was enough. You see there, the foot did not hold the base. And now a diving play from Hidalgo, and it's going to be first and second. Maybe you see on the upper left-hand side of your screen some more red and blue on the opposite side of the fence. That's the Chinese Taipei national team watching closely, having a look at their two potential opponents tomorrow night. And another one hard hit that bounces off the hands of Hidalgo. Cuba playing far from a perfect game here. The defense especially not looking as good as we've seen it under the lights at Parque La Loma. And that's another one that's going to be a hit. Careful now, Gonzalez gets back to third. Morrison came in with the tag. Nobody out. That is 4 straight hits for Mexico. They're on the board. It's 5-1. And Morrison getting warned that he came in a little hot over at third base. That's the tag. And you see the reaction from Gonzalez. Good base running by Gonzalez there, keeping himself on base as Rachel Medina made the catch. Wanted to try and turn it into a double play. Nothing doing. Now it's Franco who started the inning. She goes up the middle, out at second, throw to first, not in time, run scores, throw home, make it 2 for Mexico. And on to third for Franco. We got a game in the bottom of the second. Cuba 5, Mexico 3. Tying run coming to the plate. What a lively atmosphere here. The city of Tepic has really showed up to make this tournament something special. All of Nayarit watching. Really the entire country watching on Megacable. We also have the entire world watching on the WBSC YouTube channel and Facebook, and you're a part of it. Thank you for being a part of this second edition of the Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. Second Baseball 5 World Cup to be hosted by Mexico. The other one was the first ever. Now Gonzalez, right side, that'll score another. 5-4. The defense has been letting down Cuba in this second inning. Where's Ochoa going to go with it? Decides short. And a nice play made by Morrison. And that sends us to the third. But 5-4 after 2. Good stuff from the Mexico national team, hanging around against world number 1 Cuba. I wonder if Cuba was expecting this kind of a test this early on. You know the fans were. That's part of the Azraq refugee team representing Syria. They are having a great time at this tournament. As you can see, fully trying to fit in with the home crowd. Rooting for Mexico. Good ball by Diaz, meanwhile, to lead off with a hit. She led off the second with a line out. Cuba did end up scoring one before the double play ended the inning prematurely from the Cuba perspective. Gonzalez knocks it down, and they get the out at second base. Way to not give up on that ball. You do have time to recover after an initial bobble, especially with a good stretch like that. We have seen some splits in this tournament. Hidalgo avoided the bouncing ball, so he's the lead runner now on second. Rivera the batter. Rivera puts some spin on it. Safe. Oh, is that speed? That was one of the fastest home to first times we've seen all week long. And it loads the bases with one out. A perfectly clean defensive play, but look at that slide. Now a bounce, a throw to second. They get the out there as a run scores. Time called and given to Mexico as we go to 6-4 Cuba with 2 outs in the top of the third. Mexico's game with Kenya this afternoon, it lasted 1 hour and 55 minutes. Longest game of the tournament, one of the longest games in Baseball 5 World Cup history. This one being played at a very rapid pace. Diaz hits it on a short hop, 2 short stop. Who makes the underhand flip to second? And Cuba gets one back after Mexico just scored 4 in the bottom of the second. See if they can keep things moving here in the bottom half of inning number 3. Very well-placed ball by Martinez, but she's beaten by the throw. The crowd right there, the Mexico fans, they disagreed with the call, but they don't get to make the call. Maybe that's the next innovation in Baseball 5. The crowd can occasionally make a call at first. I don't think so, but we'll see. This game continues to evolve and grow with every subsequent year, every subsequent tournament. A line out there. Frias got a little too much air under the ball, hit the bottom side of it. And that's the kind of play Cuba's going to make 99 times out of 100. The big swing on the right side past Diaz, but they make the play all the same. 3 innings in the books. Cuba 6, Mexico 4. Going to the 4th. Yes, we'll play 5 innings. That'll be set 1. Then we'll play 5 more. That'll be set 2. If each team wins a set, then we'll play a 3rd, and it'll be all the same rules in the 3rd set. 5 innings. Some of the fans leaning on the fence in the front row, they're going to be asked to back off. Crowd going crazy here as we start the 4th. Hidalgo, top of the lineup, leading off. And he's on for, I think, the 4th time tonight. Yeah, that's the 4th hit for Hidalgo. Moracen with 4 hits, Rivera with 4 hits. Well, let's make it 5 for Moracen. Right side goes through the grasp of Martinez. Timeout for a shoe tie situation. Ball looked foul. It was foul ball signaled by Tony Jones, the home plate official. And this bottom half of the Cuba lineup struggling. Medina now 0 for 5. Diaz looking for her 2nd hit. Looks towards the first base side, but we've seen a lot of players using that as a decoy. There's a tag. No, he missed the tag, did Gonzalez. And 2 runs will score. Gonzalez thought he put that tag on the hip of the runner as he ran by, but the call was safe. Let's see on replay. Oh, it's hard to tell there. If he did tag him, it wasn't much, and obviously not enough because the officials didn't see it. And now it's 9 for Cuba. Even when you play as well as Mexico is against Cuba, they can sometimes still carry a 5-run lead. Moracen gives a look around, blasts it towards 3rd. Gonzalez off the wall, over to 1st. Everybody's going to be safe, and Cuba's going to go up 10-4. A 6-run lead, their largest of the night. Great effort. Almost did get the out at first base. That one hit hard up the middle. Oh, great defensive play there by Gonzalez. It's not just the batters who can sometimes use deception as a weapon. He faked the throw to 3rd base. That had the runner moving from 1st to 2nd, and he ran right into the trap. Bottom 4, Mexico down by 6. Needs to put up a few here, one would think. Shoes coming off, getting laced up all over town. Line drive, that's going to skim off the top of the wall and go out. Even if it hadn't gone out, if it had just hit the wall on the fly, that's still going to be an out. Tough way to start an inning where Mexico, like we said, has to put a couple on the board. Ochoa looking third base side, hard hit. No reason to throw it there if you're a Cuba team with a comfortable lead. Sometimes the best idea in Baseball 5 is to know when not to throw it, and that was what we just saw. A one hopper to short, then booted into the sidewall. Back-to-back hits after that leadoff ball went out of play. Frias, right side, out at second. They're not going to attempt to throw to first for a double play, but they go home after Ochoa broke. I wonder if Rivera thought that was the third out. I think he did. Now he's letting his teammates know he knows there's 2 outs, but he kind of did droop his shoulders. You see right there, very casual. He thought that was the last out of the inning. Sensing that, an alert Ochoa breaks for home. Nice base running by Yair Ochoa. And now an out on a ball that didn't clear the line. Valenzuela pinch hitting there. And that ends the bottom half of the 4th inning, sends us to the 5th. Cuba 10, Mexico 5. After this 5th inning comes to a close, we'll pause for a couple of minutes and then regroup for set numero 2. It's not just Chinese Taipei scouting their opponents. A lot of fans here are players from other teams. We saw members of the Syria team. Those were the Puerto Rico national team players in the front row and left field. Ground ball, left side. Isaac is out. The winner of this Cuba-Mexico game plays Chinese Taipei tomorrow. The loser of this game will play for the bronze. As that one slips right through the wickets of Frias. The bronze medal game is going to feature Venezuela against the losing team in this match. Hard hit up the middle. Diaz safe at second. Only one out here. Cuba's going to look to put a little bit of separation between themselves and Mexico. With the crowd behind them. Can Mexico find 2 outs? They've already turned a double play. We've seen good defense from both teams. Couple of double plays in the game already. Out at second, coming home, safe there. 2 runs in, 12-5. And when that throw went home, the batter who became the runner, Rivera, takes second. Jogging home, Diaz. The officials being called together by Tony Jones. There will be no changes to where anybody lines up, nor the number of runs on the board, nor the number of outs on the board. 12-5 Cuba, their lead continues to grow inning by inning. It's up to 7 now. That's how many hits, by the way, Yandro Moracen has. Moracen's 7 hits, the most of anybody in this game. One more out and Mexico will get their last chance in the 5th. Diaz softly up the middle, and the underhand flip for the out that retires the side. So it's 12-5 Cuba. Mexico looking to come up with some real magic here They need lucky number 7 on their side in the 5th. We're going to get some changes on the Cuba side, meanwhile, defensively. Rafael Correa will take over for Yandro Moresen. Top of the lineup, Axel Gonzalez. He'll be followed by Yair Ochoa, and he'll be on first as Ochoa goes into the batter's square. Ochoa hits it hard and off the foot of Correa. Good idea to test the new defender. He's not yet, I don't want to say he's not yet up to speed, but that's the thinking anyway by testing him. You know, everybody else has been at this level up high. He's coming in cold. So you might as well put it in his direction, see if he's ready to go. Pushed first base line, not a bad play by Martinez, but I don't know if you can afford to be giving up any outs here in the bottom of the 5th. That's kind of like a sacrifice bunt to advance the runners. If this is a tie game or even just a 2-run game, if it was 12-10, you need those 2 in scoring position. That play looks a lot better. Oliva Frias hits it hard. Felt the defender charging in. Nice recovery by Correa, the tag. A run scores. Frias went down hard after the tag, but she's all right. These are some tough kids out there. Mexico down to its last out. Watch this play. She saw the defender coming in. She hit it right at him. There's the tag on the hip. You know, nothing overly hard, but that was a hard fall. And now a line drive up the middle. It's going to be a hit for Valenzuela that scores another run, 12-7 in a high-scoring first set. Gonzalez off the wall. That'll end the game. The call has been made out. It hit the wall on the fly. And that does it for set 1. In 5 innings, Cuba beats Mexico 12-7 by 5 runs. And they are 1 set victory away from punching their ticket to the World Championship final tomorrow night against Chinese Taipei. We'll take this very short break and come back to see set 2. Will Cuba be back in the finals? The second set begins with a leadoff single. Kevin Hidalgo. Only one change in the lineup for Cuba. Aris Espinel will be, I think, batting third. Meanwhile, Mexico continues along the same path they've been walking throughout this tournament, where they have a dramatically different lineup here in set 2 than they did in set 1. We'll talk about the lineup when they come up. Axel Gonzalez does play in both sets. He's at second, and it's going to be Isak batting here. Throw goes to third. They get the lead runner. I don't think anybody was expecting that ball to go to third. Very heads-up play. And I mean a very heads-up play there to go over to third. That's Manuel Armenta. And back-to-back outs at third base. Remember, Cuba scored 2 in the first inning of the first set. Valenzuela's in playing third. She didn't start the first set. She did enter. That moves Frias across the diamond. She's playing first. Those are the changes for Mexico. Here's Diaz. Hits it hard, right side, and Cuba does not score in the first. So Mexico will have an opportunity to take the game's first lead, and that's big. Playing ahead, I've noticed throughout the week, really allows you to do different things. And it helps you in so many ways. Obviously, when you're talking about a 5-inning game, you want to have the first lead. But beyond the obvious there, it allows you to strategize differently. Everybody making sure that the lineup is straight at the scorer's table. That it is. So bottom of the first getting underway. Cuba won the first set. Mexico looking to Gonzalez to lead the way, and he does with a hit. Ochoa the batter. Ochoa hard on the ground. Espinal knocks it down. First and second, nobody out. Now if you're Mexico, you really do have to capitalize here. You've got to get that first run across. Play with a lead. Get a taste of it. See what it feels like. Manuel Espinal up the middle. Bases loaded with nobody out. Valenzuela on the ground to third. Espinal can't pick it up cleanly. And would you look at this? Nobody out. Bases still loaded. 1-0 the score. Espinal was not in the first set and has not looked sharp to start this second set. Coach Sergio Perez taking the timeout in the first inning. Cuba, I don't remember them trailing at any point in the tournament. They're going to want to figure this out in a hurry before it spirals out of control. Frias, the fifth batter of the inning. She grounds it up the middle. Safe! Rivera couldn't get the tag on Ochoa. And we've talked about how fast Rivera is. Not quite quick enough in that case. Wow, Mexico, still nobody out in the first. Already the 2-0 lead. The foot on the base before the tag. Hidalgo can't catch it clean. Another run scores. 3-0. Really unfamiliar territory for Cuba. Chinese Taipei continues to watch from beyond the left field wall. They're going to play the winner of this game tomorrow night for the World Championship. Nice pickup there with the sidearm. Time called, time given to Cuba. Frias on third, Ochoa on second. Manuel Armenta in the box. Can he add a fourth run to Mexico's first inning lead? Hits it hard. Espinel has it slip through her grasp, and scoring is Frias. 4-0 Mexico. Didn't see this coming. Cuba took care of business in the first set. They won it by a score of 12-7. Valenzuela tries the pop-up play. Got a little too much of it, and that'll end the first inning, but a big one. 4 runs on the board, and Cuba's got some catching up to do. Do they have the firepower to do it? You know, nothing lasts forever. If one thing is true in life, that's probably it. And as we've been saying all week, Cuba has never lost a game in a World Cup, and as a result has always wound up world champion, whether at the open level or the youth level in the Baseball 5 world. See how they look tonight with some adversity. Carlos Rivera works the ball. Now bounces it left side, throw to second. That's an out. Hidalgo retired. Great job by Mexico's defense getting the lead runner. Espinel holding on tight as he went down to the ground. Line drive goes off Valenzuela. Throw goes to second. She did well to play it off the sidewall. Edzy Valenzuela unable to squeeze the line drive. Now a bounce to second, and it's Cuba's turn with the bases loaded. Diaz ground ball, tagged, and a double play. Through an inning and a half, Mexico 4, Cuba nothing. That's exactly what this Mexico team's looking for. The double play after Cuba had them loaded. They're unable to score. If you had any doubts about whether or not Mexico is for real as a contender, let this score, this situation, answer that. What spin on that ball? Oh, the call is out. I thought it touched the defensive player before it went out of play. Looked like it did, but they say that it was an out. Gonzalez tries that same side, gets the throw to first to bounce away. And a man on second with the one out as Mexico tries to pull even. Meanwhile, a quick update from field two. They've gone back and forth, Kenya and Lithuania. Lithuania won the first set, Kenya the second. Kenya leads 7-4 in the third set. Tiebreaker there in the fifth inning. We'll let you know when there's a final score from field two. 2 away in the last of the second. Mexico scored all of its runs in the first. Can they bring home Gonzalez? Line drive, fair ball. And that run does score. 5-0. A lot to contend with there if you're Espinel. Got the base runner riding right by you. You've got the ball coming at you hot. Wondering if it's fair or foul. Oh, a slip there from Valenzuela. Tough way for the second inning to end. She pops up. She's okay. It's a miracle you don't see more of that. It's a wonder. But now what's Cuba going to do here as we get to the third inning with the 5-0 score? This is just not where they're used to being. If Mexico wins this second set, we'll go to a third. Oh, nice grab. Hidalgo was looking right. He went left. It was read beautifully. Yair Ochoa, no problem squeezing it. Now played off the wall by Gonzalez. Frias can't make the catch, but it wouldn't change the outcome. Runner on first either way there. The sellout crowd at Parque La Loma getting what they wanted to see, an entertaining game, and beyond that, a Mexico lead, if not a second set win. Still a little ways to go as we play in the third inning. Ochoa can't squeeze that one. Good recovery, but not quite in time to get Isaac at first. And here's Espinel. The signature backwards cap. A bouncing ball and another bases loaded setup for Cuba. They had this in the second inning, could not score. Aris Espinel did well to reach. Amanda Diaz. On the left side, the flip goes to third for a force out. The run scores. There goes the shutout. Cuba's on the board. Still a 5-1 lead for Mexico now with 2 outs in the top of the third inning. Cuba hasn't lost a set yet at this Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. They rarely ever lose a set in Baseball 5 competition, but they're really struggling to produce. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Mexico looking to build on a 4-run lead. Oliva Frias had trouble keeping that one on the right side of the line, so we have an out in the last of the third. Axel Gonzalez. Hits it hard. Everybody trying the third base line, it seems like on both sides. We do have a final from field 2. Kenya, congratulations, wins their second 3-set match of the day. They beat Lithuania in sets 2 and 3. Set 3 final 7-4. Everybody who's still here will play tomorrow. As we get into the placement round in the first half of the day and then the medal games in the second half of the day. Crowd starting the wave, trying to Just keep it coming for Mexico, who have 2 on and only 1 out. Hidalgo can't squeeze it. Bases loaded. One twist tomorrow is that the teams playing in the medal games will only be playing the medal games. Everybody just plays one tomorrow, but it's going to be rested and ready teams in the afternoon and in the evening. That was not what Edzi Valenzuela was looking for there, softly off the tips of the fingers. And now Frias takes the signs from the Mexico bench. A big spot, bases loaded. You want to keep adding on every chance you get against Cuba. A diving play by Kevin Hidalgo. Had to have it. On to the 4th we go, and is that going to be the missed opportunity for Mexico that allows Cuba to get back into the game, maybe even get on top? Frias is going to come out. That's not like it's some sort of disciplinary action for anything she's done. Mexico uses their 8-player roster more completely than any of the other teams. Usually there's a core 5 or 6. Mexico plays all 8. They change the lineup between sets. They even change the lineup within a set. Scampering back to the bag safely there. Carlos Rivera showing that quickness. He and Maria Gonzalez both crawling around near first base. And Tony Jones going to go have a word with the rest of the officiating crew. You wonder, did he see something there that may lead to this call being overturned? It is extremely rare for a call to be overturned. Safe the call. You can read the body language of Jesus Sandoval, Mexico's head coach. He thought there might have been some sort of tripping motion. But the runner may have had some role in tripping up Martinez as she tried to get back on base. The festive atmosphere put on pause for a moment. We get back underway. Valenzuela, nice play to go to second for the first out of the 4th inning. We might have another 3-set contest featuring Mexico today. Manuel Armenta squeezing it tight. Ground ball. Oh, that's an unfortunate play for Axel Gonzalez. He makes that one almost every time. He got into the throwing motion before he had secured the ball. You see, he took his eye off it, lifted the head up. Too eager to get the first out of what he might have hoped was a double play. Now they get Diaz, but will that error at short come back to cost Mexico? Because now you've got to deal with Hidalgo. Nice play by Martinez there. 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Hidalgo hits it to 3rd. Valenzuela couldn't handle the spin on that one. The run scores, but no advance from Espinal. (5-2). Cuba creeping ever closer. Tony Jones, the home plate official, takes the ball back as we've got laces being tightened all over the field. Thumbs up all around. And Rivera to start the action. On a line, right side, Martinez back to first, not in time. Bases loaded, that's the tying run on first, and we know what speed Carlos Rivera has. If this ball is well placed by Rachel Isaac, could be trouble. Did it hit the runner? No, it hit Gonzalez. And so the run scores. The tying run moves to second. 5-3. Here comes Cuba. A 2-out rally. Gonzalez the first touch. There was no interference at all by the runner. That was just coincidental timing. A long look around by Espinel. Gonzalez on a hop goes to second. So Mexico, we know this, they'll take a lead into the fifth inning. How big will that lead be? It'll at least be 2. And you know, facing Cuba, that is not safe. You'd want to make it 3, maybe 4. We're going to have a substitution as Ariana Lao checks in for Cuba. Aris Espinel comes off. You wonder if the relative quiet coming over the crowd is a reflection of some nerves in the building. Hopefully those feelings not shared by the Mexico players. Gonzalez almost got caught rounding first. Good recovery, kid. Got back safely. And if you're a new player just coming off the bench, get ready to get tested. It's nothing personal, strictly business. Ochoa with his trademark flip of the ball before he puts it in play. That time Lao makes the play, but her throw offline. And a great start for Mexico as they look to cushion a 2-run lead. That was a great get going down to one knee, and despite the throw, no further advance. You look at the replay and you wonder if an accurate throw would have even gotten there in time. Such good speed from Gonzalez. A smack. Hidalgo, the diving effort. That was a case of trying to do a little bit too much. He had players behind him who would have been able to make that play far more easily. Instead, Mexico goes up 6-3, and a third set is looking increasingly likely. No reason to take your foot off the gas if you're Mexico, though. Cuba can easily score 3 or 4 in an inning, so keep it coming. Hidalgo, he's all over the place up the middle. That time he ran himself right out of position. The eyes of Valenzuela drew him off the ball. Still none out in the bottom of the 4th, and a word from Sergio Perez looking out to Espinel, telling him basically to cool it down out there. Ground ball to short, the flip to second for the out. Another run scores. Mexico back up by 5. 8-3. This is a heck of a set from the Mexico national team. Hard hit, fair ball. Just keeps coming. This is exactly the type of 4th inning the Mexico crowd was hoping for. Not to mention the Mexico team, the entire delegation, dare I say the entire nation, watching on. Fair ball, first base line. Great play by Isaac to pop it to Diaz. Watch this. No time to pick it up. Just pop it. So it's second and third. Big spot. Armenta off the wall on a line. That is going to be the final out of the 4th inning. To the 5th we go. Cuba needs 5 to tie it, 6 to take a lead. Otherwise, we are going to set number 3. No way Cuba's going to roll over and just move on quietly to the third set. They are fired up, ready to go. Very capable of putting 8-9 runs up in a given inning. Diaz starts with a soft line drive. And now this third set starting to feel inevitable. One hop up the middle. Does Mexico have one more out? You'll hear the reaction of the crowd if they get it. This place will erupt. There's your answer. We're going to the third set. Mexico wins the second 8-3. And one set for a chance to go to the World Championship final. It's a toss-up after two. We'll take a break and be right back at Parque La Loma. They just changed that call? Wow. That's a really tough one to overturn. I'm not sure what Hidalgo's supposed to do there. After he got forced off the base, he couldn't get his foot back on. It was being blocked. The home crowd loves it. And now Carlos Rivera on the right side. Called out at first. Another close play. 2 outs for Mexico in the top of the first. You be the judge here at first base. Oh boy, it looked like he had beaten that one. But Mexico gets a couple of calls. And now a runner on second, 2 outs, and a ground ball that ends the inning. Will we see the upset of the history of Baseball 5 tonight? A great start for Mexico. Cuba has never lost a Baseball 5 World Cup game at any level. They were the 2022 Baseball World Cup champions. They were the 2023 Youth Baseball 5 World Cup champions. And they were the 2024 World Champions last year in Hong Kong, China. They bring the big man, Yandro Moracen, back in, and he makes that play from third base. After a couple of high-scoring affairs, will this be the defensive struggle we haven't gotten yet? It was 12-7 Cuba in the first set, 8-3 Mexico in the second. And now a blast from Ochoa. And a 1-out base runner for Mexico. Ground ball to short. Nice play coming across the bag by Isaac. Cuba looking to match the 0 from the top of the first inning. Outstanding play there. Look at that reach with the right hand. Awesome play. The batter is Itzi Valenzuela. And she lines out softly to third. That ends the bottom of the first inning, 0-0 in the third set. There's no changes to the rules in this third set, even though it's a tiebreaker because each team won one set. It's going to be played exactly the same, 5 innings. And whoever wins plays Chinese Taipei tomorrow night for the title of world champion. Good soft drop shot across the line, but a strong throw. Valenzuela gets Diaz. Nice stretch by Martinez at first. Another chance for Valenzuela. Don't be surprised if Mexico decides to change pieces, bring in some substitutes in the middle of this third set. That would be keeping with how they've played throughout the tournament, and they haven't lost yet, so why would you change anything? Aris Espinel out in this third set, at least for now for Cuba. That's what allowed Moracen to re-enter the starting lineup. Now Rivera punches it towards second. Bases loaded. Manuel Armenta came up looking to fire towards third. Instead, he left the ball behind. Now Isaac hits it past the pitcher's position, but fielded by Martinez. And Cuba strikes first, 1-0 in the top of the second. Now runners on second and third. Good grab with the left hand for Martinez. Amanda Diaz. She's going to try Valenzuela again. This time, safe the call. 2-run score. It's 3-0 Cuba. They're fired up on the red and blue side. That time Diaz wins the sprint. She was out by a half step earlier this inning. A ball that gets by, but then gets sent to second for the third out of the inning. Diaz, the clutch 2-out, 2-run hit. And a 3-0 lead for Cuba. It has shown, well, this game has shown the team that scores first has won each of the first 2 sets. Will that hold true, or will Mexico make a comeback? Timeout so that shoes may be laced up all over the place. In the first set, Cuba scored 4 runs in the first inning. They led it 4-0. Mexico came back. It was 5-4 after 2. Cuba went on to win 12-7. Then in set number 2, it was Mexico that scored 4 in the first and never looked back. Neither team scoring in the first inning of set 3, but Cuba with 3 in the second. And now Mexico has to respond. Abril Martinez hits it hard, well placed, throw to first. A leadoff hit through that 5-6 hole on the left side. Morrison and Rivera unable to make the play. You know, you can't fault either one of them there. That was just a perfectly placed hit. Now a drive, a catch, and a double play. Morrison with the hands going down to the deck. Keeping it off the court. Maybe scraping his fingernails on the tiles to do it. Here's Ochoa, and that's in the same spot. Another scoreless frame from the Cuban defense. A 3-0 lead after 2, and they'll look to pile some more on top. Try and squash any potential Mexico comeback here. A hush descends over Parque La Loma. Field 1 at the Baseball5 Youth World Cup. What a catch up the middle, Yair Ochoa. Ice in his veins. Here's Rivera. Hard off the wall. Gonzalez tries to whip it over to first, not in time. The second 3-set game of the day for Mexico. They beat Kenya in 3 sets in the quarterfinals this afternoon to reach this one. Trying to beat Cuba in 3 sets to reach the World Championship tomorrow night against Chinese Taipei, who really had an easy time of it beating Venezuela in straight sets. Nice play by Diaz up the first base line, advancing the runners. There are 2 outs, however. So Cuba's going to need a hit from Kevin Hidalgo here to score any. On the left side, Gonzalez to first, safe! And it's 4-0. Make it 5. Martinez wasn't able to get time called. And a fired up Jesus Sandoval comes storming onto the court. He's got to be careful. He's going to get tossed. That is not allowed. Oh, he may have a point, though. That looked like an out at first. And then the second half of the play when Cuba adds the 5th run. That is a tough call when you see the replay. That call almost always goes to the defensive team, but in that instance, Mexico not given the call. That's the difference between 3-0 and 5-0 here in the top of the third. You can understand the frustration from Sandoval after seeing the replay. Now it's Cuba firmly in command. Lined up the middle, over to third. It gets away from everybody. The players collide. The tag is out. And now it's Cuba's turn to be upset. They're going to ask for defensive obstruction. And they're going to talk about it. The officials come together, and they may have a case for obstruction here. Hidalgo was tripped, and it kind of looked intentional. Tensions are high. We'll see if after this conversation they decide to change the call. This is a big one. We haven't seen a replay yet. Our outstanding officiating crew talking it over. A replay would be very helpful to see what happened over at third base. Here it is. Hidalgo running, and Ochoa, you know, he's going for the ball. It was leg-on-leg contact. That is really tough to call. You know, there's nothing you can see on that replay that makes it look like he intentionally tripped up Hidalgo. I mean, obviously he did, but he was going for the ball, which just happened to be on the other side of the base runner. A long conversation. Remember, the initial call on the field is that the runner was out, that it was coincidental contact. Everybody sharing their opinion here. This might be the longest official review of the tournament, and you can understand why. It's a big play. Remember, there was a play at first with 2 outs that the runner was called safe. It took it from 3-0 to 5-0. And now the officials are going to move over to the scorer's table. When it goes this long, you feel like it becomes harder to overturn. Nice job by our camera crew. If you're a lip reader, you've got a good chance of figuring out what was going on there. If the call stands, then Cuba will take the infield with the score 5-0 in the bottom of the third. If it's reversed, it'll be 6-0. Cuba will still be batting, and the Mexico coaching staff will go crazy. But you see, there's the ball right there. He's trying to get the ball. That's such a gray area. If the ball wasn't right there, then I think that's an easy call for obstruction on the defense. We'll take a look at the extended conversation. This is how Cuba's staying loose during this delay. You could watch that play 50 times and see it 50 different ways. Was it intentional obstruction, or was the defensive player just going for the ball? That was the original call. I mean, he was running right for the ball. And And out, the call is upheld. And I think after that much conversation, that is exactly the right call. I mean, that was as close as they come. The third base official saw it in real time as the defensive player going to get the ball, and that's the way it'll stand. So 5-0 Cuba in the bottom of the third. Mexico needs to start scoring right now. They can't afford to wait around any longer. Ground ball to short. The throw not in time. And that's exactly the type of start to this third inning Mexico desperately needed. Good hustle. Manuel Armenta flying up the first base line. Now it's Etzi Valenzuela to third. They go to second, out there. And where is the spark going to come from for a Mexico team that has scored at least 7 runs in all 5 sets they've already played today? But they're being shut out so far through 2+ innings in this most important set of the day. The winner going to the championship, the gold medal game tomorrow night. A throw to second gets away. Valenzuela smart to not try and take the extra base. She's on second. And we're going to get a pinch hitter in Jesus Espinosa. Espinosa goes to short. Out on to first. Safe, no double play. But 2 outs now. Mexico simply has to find a way to bring home Etzi Valenzuela. Good turn at second. Very hard to turn a conventional style double play, the 6-4-3 type play. And they do not score. Mexico is going to go to the 4th inning trailing 5-0. Running out of time against world number 1 Cuba. The ball bounces off the hands of Valenzuela there at third, so the leadoff runner aboard. Punched up the first base line. Diaz gets tagged out. I think she's okay with that, as she's able to advance the runner to second. Kicked around a little bit, and it'll be second and third for Cuba with just 1 out. Leandro Morrison. Oh, trouble at second base, and you feel it getting away from Mexico a little bit. Throw goes to third, and another second and third setup. It's 6-0. Timeout called so that Morrison can reclaim his gorro. Seven nothing. That ball short of the 3-meter line, so 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Timeout being called here at the scorer's table. That's what this slight delay is about, and the DJ does his job keeping the fans engaged. This third set has featured a number of stoppages. It almost feels like just delaying the inevitable. Everybody expected to hard to figure this one out. Hopefully in Cuba's mind, they'll rest him up so he's ready to go tomorrow. We get back underway. We start the bottom of the fourth. Mexico, you don't need all 7 here in the fourth, but you got to get something. There's an out at first base. One out as Martinez hits it to third. Throw across, that was really close. Still 7-0. I think if Mexico's even able to get 1 on the board here, it'll lift the spirits and maybe open the door for a late comeback. And they're gonna get the 1. 7-1. Maybe they rattle off a couple hits here. Maybe they add a couple more. That was a hard hit ball down at the feet of Socaras. But an underhand play to second. Cuba looking sharp as they are 1 inning away from reaching the championship. Nicely placed ball up the middle. You can just feel it now. Mexico looks like they are out of juice. Remember, they played a nearly 2-hour game earlier today. This one now more than an hour and a half. That is a long day of Baseball 5 after 2 other long days of Baseball 5, but no quit in this team. That was a really nice play, out getting the force out at second. The batter, Carlos Rivera. A hard hit ball. Out at second, the lunge going up the middle with the foot on the base. Line drive, Valenzuela has it pop off the side of her palm. After a couple of high-scoring ones, 12-7 and 8-3. Now it's 7-1. You couldn't see it on camera, but Amanda Diaz just really showed some leadership, talking to her teammates, those others waiting to bat. She went around to each and every one of her teammates, put her arm around them, and held up 3 fingers. You didn't have to know what she was saying to understand the message. We are 3 outs away. All we need is 3 outs. That's the message for Cuba. Does Mexico have any magic for a 6-run inning? That is step 1. It just has to be hit by hit by hit. Hope for a little bit of help from the Cuban defense. Good luck hoping for that. That doesn't happen very often. But again, that was a good place to start. Valenzuela. Going to move to the first base side of the box, but she comes up short of the line. 2 outs now, standing between Cuba and another trip to a Baseball 5 World Cup final. Line drive caught, and 1 out away. Mexico looks headed to the bronze medal game for the 2nd straight Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. Nice hands there for Rivera. Jesus Espinosa hits it foul, and that's it. Cuba wins it 7-1 in the 3rd set, and it will be Cuba and Chinese Taipei for the title of World Championship tomorrow night here on Field 1 at Parque La Loma. What an effort from Mexico. They took the 2nd set convincingly 8-3 to force a 3rd. But in the end, the undisputed world #1 Baseball 5 program, Cuba, prevails. And it'll be a heck of a matchup with Chinese Taipei. In the bronze medal game, you'll see Mexico again taking on Venezuela with a couple of games in the placement bracket to set the table tomorrow morning and afternoon. What a Baseball 5 World Cup it has been with 1 day to go. Who will wind up world champion, Cuba or Chinese Taipei? Tune in tomorrow night to find out here on WBSC's YouTube channel, Facebook page, and WBSC.org. Until then, Craig Durham saying so long and good night, and congratulations to Cuba on the victory.